So starting seated today, you're welcome to sit up on a blanket. That can be nice starting out. It's also nice if you're tighter in the hips, if it's hard to sit tall. Just give yourself a little support. And let's start with the right shin crossed in front of the left shin, and maybe even take the thigh flesh and roll it out. And then you might want to have a strap nearby too. So before we get going, let's just take a nice deep inhale, hold the breath, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. So create a little tension, and then exhale, let it go. So inhale, pressing up, and exhale, release. So just enjoy that sense of relief that comes. A couple more like that. Creating a little tension to find a little sense of ease. One more. And then hands on your thighs. They can rest by the sides of your hips, wherever feels good. Close your eyes if they're not already. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the nose. And then just continue like that. So finding a nice, even, steady breath. Finding your Ujjayi breath. Right away, trying to get the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale really nice and even. Perhaps counting the breath to help you find that symmetry. As much as possible, you're listening to that sound of your breath. You're using this breath as a tool to help quiet the mind, draw you inward. It's kind of like this self-soothing mechanism. Attention will wander. You'll get distracted by sounds in the room you're in. You'll get distracted by the thoughts in your head. You just remind yourself to come back to your breath anytime that happens. Good. Blink your eyes open here. As you inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Welcome Neil and Kim. So keep your arms about shoulders distance apart. Feel the shoulder blades release down towards your sit bones here, and then really firm muscle to bone in your arms. So even find a little sense of that downward facing dog feeling. So arms are really activated. Good. And then bring your palms together. Just notice what index finger is crossing on top. Press your palms up towards the ceiling. Hold on to that feeling of inner arms wrapping towards outer arms, so that downward facing dog feeling, but you're going to get a little more stretch in the neck and the shoulders and the armpit. You're finding lots of length, so you're inhaling, lengthening through the sides of your waist. Exhaling, you're rooting into your sit bones. One more deep inhale here like this. And then let's exhale, start to bend the elbows so the palms are gonna come into the lower head neck area. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, drop right elbow down to the right. Good, inhale to center. Exhale, drop left elbow down. This can be really challenging. You might not get very far, that's fine. Inhale to center. And then exhale, a couple of breaths here. Press that right shoulder head back. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. Notice if you start to puff the front ribs out, sitting tall. Good. And then root into both sit bones, but start to find a little side stretch here. Keep the arms like this just for a breath or two. Good. And then release. So root that right palm down. And then that top arm is kind of just there. Extend, spinning the pinky side of that hand down. So we're getting internal rotation. You are welcome to come down onto that right forearm if you're feeling a little more limber. First thing today, I almost said this morning. It's high noon. All right, so let's inhale up here. Keep this left arm reaching up. Keep finding that sensation of that hand spinning behind you. Bend the elbow, and we've got a couple of options here. So you can take your right hand on top, gently press down. If you would like to play with your cow face arms, Gomukhasana arms. Reach that right arm out and then bend the elbow, maybe even grabbing your strap here if you're close but not quite there. And you can also simply just be pressing your right hand into the back or into your back. That's going to give you that leverage to open up that right shoulder. Keep lifting through the left shoulder, and then nice deep inhale here. Root into your sit bones. As you exhale, hinge forward. And you don't have to go super deep. Probably going to go, quarter of the way down, halfway down maybe. Keep lifting the right shoulder head up. You can even lift the left elbow up here. Breath smooth and steady. Good. Inhale, rise on up. So wherever you're at, release the arms. Just find this diagonal stretch. Good. And then just take those right fingertips behind you. Exhale, start to twist to the right. Left hand comes to the outside of that right thigh. Pressing shoulder heads back, just using that leverage. You're just finding a place to gaze that feels good at your neck. You can move towards looking out over that right shoulder. That feels okay. Really try to find expansion on the inhale. Good. Stay in the twist. Nice deep inhale. But as you exhale, bring your gaze out over that left shoulder. Tuck the chin a little bit, and that's going to get into a different spot in the neck. And let's just find a little kind of twist side stretch here. So inhale, reach your right arm up and over. So leaning to the left, try to anchor into that right sit bone. Maybe gazing up underneath that top arm. Breath smooth and steady. Good. Deep inhale, upright yourself. Come to center. Extend your legs to straight. Give them a little shake out here. And then we recross with the left shin in front. And then again, maybe just roll the inner thigh towards the outer thigh. So you're really finding space on those sit bones so you can be nice and tall here. Place your hands wherever feels good in your body so you feel nice and long, lots of space for the breath to move. Close your eyes again and then just drop into that quiet spot. Just enjoy how quickly you get there. That's happening for you today. So after many years of practice, we start to train that. Being said, some days it's a little harder than others. So also just acknowledge that if that's where you're at, be okay with it, smile. Soak up that sound of your breath. It's the best soundtrack. Good, you can blink your eyes open as you inhale, stretch the arms out. So kind of little V shape here starting out, but firming the arms, really activating the upper arms, feeling the muscle firm to bone. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, grounding into your sit bones. And then let's interlace our fingers, but this time put the opposite index and thumb on top. Press the palms up towards the ceiling so this gets a little more challenging. You're going to feel a little more stretch. Backs of the arms, scapula, neck. Keep the arms really active here. One more deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we start to bend the elbows so the palms are going to come to the back of the neck. Good. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, drop left elbow down. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop right. Inhale up to center. Good. Exhale, drop left. Couple of breaths here. Good. You can press your head into that right arm. Keep pressing this left shoulder back. And then root into your sit bones. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, start to side bend to the left. Just take a couple of breaths here like this with the arms in this configuration, just noticing how it feels. And then go ahead and release. So root down into that left palm. And then the right hand's basically where it needs to be. You just start to extend that elbow to straight. Good, so getting all of this length through the right side, you're gently wrapping those left ribs up underneath. You can come down as far on that left hand or forearm as feels good in your body. Good. As we inhale, we just come up right here. So keep spinning that right palm to face behind you, bend the elbow. Options again, can just take your left hand to that elbow, gently press down. You're going to feel this nice stretch in the tricep. If you want to go for your Gomukhasana arms, can reach back. You can always use a strap here. So especially if you're close, but not quite, the strap is helpful. Good, and then just notice how you're getting a super intense stretch on the front of that left shoulder. So keep pressing that shoulder head back. Deep inhale. And then exhale, we find just a little kind of quarter fold, maybe a half forward fold here. You don't have to go all the way down. If you're able to do that in your body and keep your arms like this, you're more than welcome to. Extending through that right elbow as you lift your left shoulder head up towards the ceiling. Good. Inhale, root into your sit bones, rise on up. Good. And then release your arms. So reach into those left fingertips. Deep inhale. And then exhale, unwind. So right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh. Get a little leverage to press your shoulder heads back. And I should say too, if twisting is feeling challenging today, you always can just go less far. So your right hand could be on your right thigh as well. So always making little adjustments for your body on any given day. If you're newer to yoga, maybe you start to bring your gaze out over that left shoulder. This feeling, the sensation, the stretch in your neck. Good, nice deep inhale. Exhale, stay in the twist, but just bring your gaze towards that right shoulder. Tuck the chin a little bit. You're gonna feel a stretch in a different place. Good, and then we're gonna find this funky little twist side bend here. So as you inhale, lean to the right, reach that left arm up and over, spin these right ribs up, maybe looking up underneath that top arm. Keep anchoring into that left sit bone. It's gonna lift a little bit, that's okay. Find a little weight there, a little gravity. Good, as you exhale, come back to center and then flip onto your tabletop, setting up for some cat-cow. So landing with shoulders over your wrists, fingers spreading gently, knees under your hips. You just move with your breath, so we all know this really well. Find a pace that feels really good in your body today. And you'll just kind of know. You can even take a couple of breaths in each pose if you want to hang out for a moment or two. Just see what you need. As you come into the cat stretch, really try to let the neck lengthen so the head is heavy, it just hangs. The temptation is to try to hold it. Good work. Couple more rounds like this. Good. Inhale to your neutral spine. You're neither arching nor rounding. At the same time here, keep your gaze an inch or two in front of your fingertips as you inhale. Right leg, left arm. Extend up off the mat. Keep the hips even. This right hip is going to want to roll open. Roll it down so it's even with the left hip. And then feel your outer hip squeeze in. Nice work. These look good. If you would like to bend that right knee, reach back. See if you can find that foot with your left hand. If you've got it, kick that foot into your hand. Find a little twist so you start to wrap your ribs to the left Feel shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. You're gonna feel a nice little stretch on the front of the right thigh, that hip flexor. Definitely a big balance pose. So if you fall out, no big deal. Good, one more deep inhale. Full complete exhale. And then with as much grace as you made your way in, inhale, lengthen out. Good, exhale, release down, beautiful work. We take that second side. So as you inhale, same time, root into your left palm as you start to extend left leg, right arm. Hips stay even, outer hips squeeze in towards the midline. And then feel your shoulder blades release down your back and squeeze in towards each other. Just staying like this is a great place to be. It helps you to create a lot of space, length and space in the lower back. If you would like to bend, left knee, reach back, find the foot. One side always feels a little more challenging than the other. When you get that foot, kick it, and then start to roll your left ribs to the right. Keep squeezing shoulder blades in, a little twist, a little heart opening, a lot of balance, a lot of fun. Good, one more deep inhale, full exhale. And then as we inhale, we lengthen out, nice work. Release down, walk your hands forward a couple of inches, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. With this first one, you'll probably wanna have a little bend in your knees and then maybe just take a moment, pedal your feet out. Good, anything that feels nice, shifting hips side to side. Some days it just feels really good to come into a place of stillness right away, so go where you need to be. Just kind of feeling out this first downward facing dog of the day, maybe in a couple of days. So we're gonna come to a place of stillness. Gonna activate the legs, the inner thighs roll towards the outer thighs. Good, as you press to the inner edge of your hand and firm the forearms in towards each other, you start to activate the upper arms. Hold on to all of that, pull your lower belly in and up. Inhale, shift forward into your plank pose, come way forward on your toes. Good, and then exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. It's like your little wave undulating on the ocean. Inhale, belly helps to take you there. And then exhale, belly helps to pull you back. Do two more. Just moving with your breath, no rush. Beautiful work. Okay, so let's inhale, shift forward into plank pose. Gaze an inch or two in front of your fingertips. Hips are in line with your shoulders. Legs are really active. Use them more than you think you can. Now see if you can squeeze those shoulder blades in towards each other a little more. Nice. Shift way forward. Slowly to the count of 5. Land on your belly. You can use your knees. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gorgeous work. All right. So pressing in the tops of your feet, bring your arms by your side. You can grab onto your strap if you're a little tighter in the shoulders. You're also welcome to interlace your fingers if you're a little more open. So pressing down, anchoring into feet, feel the outer hips squeeze in towards each other. As you inhale, head and chest extend forward and up. If you've got the strap, you can pull out on the strap. You can even find a little bit of that feeling if your fingers are interlaced. Send your inhale to the front of your chest. Feel a little lift, a little lightness there. Good, as you exhale, roll on down. If your fingers are interlaced, change the interlacing. The opposite thumb and index come on top. Shoulder blades squeeze in, anchoring into your feet. Inhale. Head and chest extend forward and up again. Breath smooth and steady. If you would like to lift your feet up an inch or two, you're welcome to go there. Keep that same feeling of them anchoring down though. And if this doesn't feel good, you lower down. Great pose for creating space and length in the back muscles. One more deep inhale. Good, exhale, keep your head and chest lifted, release your feet down. And then we're gonna bend our elbows here, so you might need to lose your strap if you had one. Fingertips come underneath your shoulder heads. So we are in our low cobra pose. Beautiful. And just a few times moving with the breath. As you exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll up. Elbows keep squeezing in. Beautiful work. As you exhale, you lower. Inhale, roll up. Good. Exhale, lower down. Inhaling, rolling up, and then just holding here. Stay here or drag your hands back, wrists under elbows. On your next inhale, press into the tops of your feet, press into your hands. Find your upward facing dog. Couple of breaths. Keep the legs really active. So the same work that we had when we were on our belly in our low cobra. And then from low cobra, you press to your tabletop, roll over your toes. If you're in your upward dog, roll over toes, pull back, downward dog. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then let's start to walk our feet forward to meet our hands. All right, as you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Feel the weight evenly distributed in your feet. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows squeeze in. Next inhale with a flat back. Press into your feet, come to standing. Couple rounds of our Ardha Surya Namaskara. So releasing your arms by your side. Feet can be together here if you feel balanced. You can also have them about hips distance apart. Just see where you feel good and stable. Here we go. As we inhale, we take up space as we reach up. Exhale, hold on to space as you fold in, letting the back of your neck lengthen and release down at the bottom. Inhale, fingertips on floor, hands on shins or thighs, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. As you exhale, you fold. Good, inhale, press down into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. 2 more, just like this. Moving with your breath. You can close your eyes here. I'm not going to cue you. And just let these feel really good, really spacious and gracious in your body. Good, and we're going to add on here. So as you inhale, arms reach out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Bend your knees, plant your palms, right foot way back. Then your left. Extra inhale here in our plank pose. Exhale, shift forward on toes. Option to come to knees, lower to halfway, hover, or all the way down. Inhale into your low cobra or upward facing dog. Beautiful work. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, let's inhale, lift our right leg up. Exhale, shift shoulders over wrists, curl your knee into your nose. Good. Inhale, pull back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose, hold here. Couple of breaths, really press the mat away. See if you can bring your right heel closer to your right buttocks. So fun. And then just sneak that foot through between your hands. It might not be so sneaky. You might have to pick the foot up and move it. That's okay. Lower onto your left knee. All right. And then let's inhale. Come on up into our crescent pose. Good, bring your palms to face forward, make fists. As you exhale, pull down and then try to squeeze your elbows in towards each other behind you. Inhale up. Good, exhale, pull down. Good, inhale up. Exhale, pull down. Good, and then inhale up. Release the fists, palms face towards each other, maybe even press together. Bring your gaze up. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat, curl your left toes under. Keep your hips this low as you step back to your plank pose. Deep inhale. Exhale, chaturanga vinyasa, moving with your breath or skipping them. So you can always make class a lot more mild by skipping those planks and chaturangas and just coming into your downward dog. All right, as you inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Nice. Inhale, back to your three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Couple of breaths here. Gaze an inch or two in front of your fingertips. Firm the mat away. Left heel closer to left buttocks. And then don't overthink it. See if you can get that foot through between your hands. If you have to pick it up and move it, that's all right. Lower onto your right knee. Direct your tailbone down. Inhale, low crescent pose, Anjali-asana. Palms face forward, make fists. As you exhale, pull. So feeling this stretch across the heart and chest. Inhale up. Good, exhale, pull down. Inhale up. Good, one more here as you exhale, pull down. Keep directing your tailbone down as you inhale. Stretch up, release your fist palms, press together. Maybe gaze up. As you exhale, hands plant. Curl your right toes under, firm that thigh up. Gaze forward, hips low, step to your plank pose. From here, you take a chaturanga vinyasa, or you pull back, downward facing dog, just seeing what you need. And we take a couple breaths here in our dog pose. Make any little adjustments that you need. Peek between your feet. Just make sure that they're about hip distance apart. Second and third toe point forward. These look nice. Then again, just check in with the arms. Make sure that you're still firing them up. So the forearms start to squeeze in towards each other. You're going to feel the inner arm wrap towards the outer arm. Slow the breath down here. Good. So stay in your downward dog, but as you inhale, find a little bend in your knees. Come to your tippy toes. End of your exhale, your choice. Walk forward, step right then left, or lightly spring both feet through. As you inhale, chest extends forward. As you exhale, fold in. Good. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. Good. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Good. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Let's do this one a little different. So keep your right foot forward, step that left foot way back. Land on your knee. And then if you do have a strap here, just go ahead and grab that. You can unfurl it. So we're gonna stretch the strap up overhead. Do make sure that your legs are about hip distance apart. All right, so as you exhale, just getting into the shoulders and the chest today. Pull out on the strap as you start to bend the elbows. Good, inhale. So similar to what we just did, but we're getting a little more resistance. If we have the strap, if you don't have the strap, you can make those fists again. Good, inhale, press up. Good, exhale, pull down. Good, and then press up here on your inhale. Keep the arms straight. Keep pulling out on the strap and then start to lean your arms back. You're not gonna get very far and you're gonna get this intense stretch, the inner arm, armpit area. So smile through it. Make sure you're not clenching your face or your teeth. Good. Come back up and then you can just move the strap off to one side. Plant your palms here. Curl your left toes under. Keep drawing that right hip back. As you inhale, rise up into your full crescent pose. Good. Again, maybe bring your gaze up, maybe press palms together. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Let's step our left foot to meet our right foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Press into feet, stretch arms out and up. Exhaling, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, reach Utthita Hastasana into Dasana. Exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen Ardha Uttanasana. Keep gaze forward, left foot forward, right knee or right foot back, land on that knee. Good, and then we're gonna come on up again, so make sure you're not on a tightrope. Find that strap. So just pulling out here. As you exhale, bend the elbows, release down. Good, inhale, pressing up. Exhale, pulling. Inhale, pressing up. Good, exhale, release down. Nice work. Inhale, pull out as you press on up. And then really stretch that strap apart if you have one. Start to lean the arms back, but keep that tailbone directing down. Maybe even feel like you're pressing a little more to the inner edge of the left foot. This is super intense. So big stretch, armpit, inseam of the arm. This is like the anecdote to, or the antidote rather, not the anecdote. Get my right A word. The antidote to Zoom shoulders. Good, stretch on up. We're just gonna place that strap off to the side. Palms plant, curl right toes under. So fire up that leg as we inhale here. Arms stretch up, full crescent pose. Maybe bring your gaze up, press palms together. And then as we exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, fold in. Press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So step wide on your mat so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Edges of the feet parallel with the edges of the mat. We're going to come into forward fold here and we're going to get into the shoulders a little more. So a few options for you. If you know that you're pretty tight, you're going to make fists, press them together. Wherever you're at, you're pressing the shoulder heads back. So that action of pressing fists in helps you find that. Maybe you can grab opposite elbows. Same action applies. A few of us are going to play with our reverse namaskar. So reverse prayer. So you kind of have to bring the fingertips together and then crawl them up your back. All right. So rooting into your feet as you inhale, heart and chest lift. As you exhale, keep lifting shoulder heads up as you forward fold and release down. Press into the outer edges of your feet. So the legs are really active. They're squeezing into the midline. Keep the breath smooth and steady. Lovely, Pamela. Send your exhale to those places in your shoulders, wrists where you're feeling this. This is not easy. Let's take a couple more good breaths here. Good. On your next inhale, you're going to press into your feet. Lead with your heart to come up to standing. Ooh. And then wherever you're at, you're just going to release and then maybe just make little circles with the wrists, the arms. Good. And then let's just keep this wide stance and let's find a little twist here. So hands come to your hips, elbows squeeze in. Deep inhale. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. I should have said you could grab a block here if you need. So let's root down into our right hand. It just comes underneath your right nose. Hand on a block is nice if you're a little tighter. Feel the outer edges of your feet squeeze. Keep that left hand on that left hip. Lean that elbow back as you start to wrap that lowermost right rib to the left. You can stay here like this. Maybe you start to extend that left arm up. And you might just be gazing at that left thumb. If that doesn't feel good in the neck, you look somewhere else. Good, one more deep inhale. Exhale, unwind. And then we take that second side. So rooting down into your left palm, right hand to right hip, elbow squeezing in. Feel the outer hip squeeze in. Inhale, find length. And then as you exhale, twist from those left ribs to the right. Beautiful work. You could stay here like this, just leaning your elbow back, or maybe you start to extend that arm up. These look really good. Breath smooth and steady, especially try to find that expansion of the rib cage on your inhale. Little trickier in these twists. As you exhale though, you create a little more space in your body, so maybe you twist in just a micromillimeter more. Good, one more deep inhale. As you exhale, you unwind. Good, just let your head hang here. You might even find a little bend in your knees. Just take a couple of breaths like this. Good, and then as you inhale, firm up the legs, come to your fingertips, extend your chest forward. Exhale, hands to hips, elbows squeeze in with a flat back. Inhale, press upright, step your feet together. Good, just take a moment in your mountain pose, noticing how you're feeling. And then stepping to the top of your mat again. All right, so let's do one classic round of our Surya Namaskara B. We're gonna do it with a little humble warrior. So again, just a little balance challenge, another way to get into the shoulders here. You can see what the theme is today. All right, so standing in your mountain pose Tadasana. As you inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, Utkatasana. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Bend your knees, plant your palms, left foot back, then right. From here, you pull to your downward facing dog, or you take your Chaturanga Vinyasa, moving with your breath. Good. As you pull back into your exhale, see if you can step that right leg through without lifting today. And then spin into the back edge of your left foot. Nice, Pamela. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Let's take a couple of breaths here. So we're trying to drag this left hip forward. It's not gonna get there. We're firming up that back leg. We're taking a nice steep bend in this right knee. All right, let's exhale, release our hands behind us, and let's take that right index finger on top. Inhale, little back bend here. And then as you exhale, you start to fold in any amount. And if you're a little more open, you start to extend wrists forward any amount. That's going to get into the backs of the shoulders. Breath smooth and steady. If you feel unsteady here, walk that right foot off to the right. Are you gripping and holding your neck? Let it get heavy and release down. Good to stay strong on your feet as you inhale. Rise on up, Virabhadrasana 1. Gorgeous work. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Spin onto those left toes, your choice. You step to downward dog or plank pose, taking a Chaturanga Vinyasa with your breath. And if you're doing that, as you pull back on your exhale into that downward dog, step that left foot through. So see if you can do it without reaching that foot up. Just a little different way of getting into it. Spin into the back edge of your right foot. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1, beautiful work. So sealing into the back edge of that right foot, drawing that right hip forward. Good, nice deep bend in that right knee. Go ahead and exhale, release the hands behind you. Take the left index finger on top this time. Inhale, a little back bend, feel that lift of your sternum, beautiful. And then as you exhale, start to bow on in. Might not be very far if you're a little tighter. This is one of those poses where you can feel it in a lot of different places. If you are a little more open in the shoulders in particular, start to extend your wrists forward towards your head, any amount. And then do let your head just relax. You don't have to hold it here. Good. Stay really strong in your legs as you inhale. Rise on up. Release hands. Stretch them up overhead. Beautiful work. As you exhale, hands frame that left foot. Spin onto your right toes. Your choice here. You step back to your downward facing dog or plank pose. Taking a chaturanga vinyasa if you want a little more heat. These are always optional. Good. And then we'll eventually meet back in our downward facing dog. From there, let's take an inhale through the nose. Open your mouth. Sigh the breath out. Let it go. Ha. Good. As you inhale, find a little bend in your knees. Come to your tippy toes. End of your exhale, walk forward, a step left and right, or hop both feet through. So you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold in. If your feet aren't hips distance apart here, just heel toe them so that they are. And then as you inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Stay here, exhale, hands to heart center, twisting from this lowermost left rib. Start to bring your torso to the right, and then maybe you hinge forward, hooking that left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Vigorously press your palms towards heart center. That's going to help you to wrap those ribs up towards the right a little more. If you would like to split your arms here, bringing left fingertips to the outside of your foot, they could also be to the inside. That would work too. Extending right arm up. Just giving everything a little spring ring out. One more deep inhale. Good. As you exhale, unwind. Let's stay in the legs if we can. Ooh, feel the burn. I know, I'm sorry. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left from the lowermost right rib, and then maybe hinge forward, get in a little deeper. You could also just stay up here. Good. Find that leverage. Press palms vigorously towards heart center. Wrap in, and then maybe split your arms. Maybe bring your gaze up. Good. One more deep inhale. As you exhale this time, just unwind. Take a nice little forward fold. And you can bring your hands to the backs of your legs. Gently pull yourself in. If you wanted to take your middle and index finger around your big toes, you can do that. So you would inhale halfway up and then exhale, pull up on your toes to fold in. Both are just nice ways to get a little more stretch into your hamstrings, the glutes. You could also be doing neither of those, just crossing elbows if that feels a little better. Good. As you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Bring your hands to your hips on your exhale, elbows squeeze in. Press into your feet, inhale. Come on up. Good. So let's actually step wide again here. And then have a block for your triangle pose. So we're going to set up for that and then take it into Ardha Chandrasana. All right, so from deep within this right hip socket, that leg turns out to 90 degrees. Left toes turn in, your right heel is intersecting that left arch. Your torso is facing to the long edge of your mat. As you inhale, arms reach up. And then as you exhale, think of that lateral stretching. Reaching through the right side. If you don't have a block, your hand can come to your thigh, lightly to your shin. Just don't place it on the knee. Otherwise, hand on a block behind your foot feels really good. Press more to the inner edge of that right foot as you lengthen through the right side of your waist and spin those right ribs up. And then let's find our little half wrap again. So start to spin that palm to face behind you in that left arm, then the elbow. Grab a piece of shirt, the lower right waist. Maybe you can get your fingertips to the inside of your thigh. Just finding that leverage. So we've had this feeling before in class. Press that left shoulder head back a lot. Breath is smooth and steady. Check in with that back leg, what's happening. Okay, so if you would like to approach your half moon from the wrap, play with that, it's kind of fun. If not, you can just bring your left hand to your hip. So keep your chest spinning open this much. Just bring your gaze down to your right toes. Good. And then if you have your block, you can just walk it forward, bend that right leg, step the left leg in, and then start to lift that leg up from the inseam. Standing leg, you might keep a little micro bend in that knee. You might bring that leg towards straight. Good. And then if you would like to, bend your left knee here. Find the foot and then kick that foot into your hand. Find a little more twist, a little back bend. Smile, especially if you're feeling a little wobbly. It's only yoga. All right, so let's all extend out. So half moon pose. Good, nice and graceful. Start to bend that right knee a lot and just lightly touch down. Find Trikonasana pose here. Good, exhale, look down at your right toes. Inhale, come on up, beautiful focus. Parallel your feet. If you've got your prop, you can move it to the other side. All right, so from deep within that left hip socket, turn those toes out, right toes turn in. We are heel to arch. So hips are doing opposite things. Torso is squaring to the long edge of your mat. Arms reach. Exhale, find all of that length. Reach, reach, reach. When you can't get any longer, hand to thigh, shin, or block. So we just start with shoulder blades stacking on top of each other, pulling that left hip back a lot, sealing into the back edge of your right foot. And then you're trying to find length on this underside of your body, that left side of your waist, twisting those ribs up. So start to externally rotate that top arm. Good, bend the elbow, grab a piece of shirt, maybe fingertips to the inside of your left thigh, and then just get a little leverage to press that right shoulder head back and open. It can be quite intense. Breath smooth and steady. Always checking in periodically with the breath. Sometimes we forget about it, but it is really one of the lovely pieces of our yoga practice. All right, so we're gonna transition into Ardha Chandrasana. Again, you can stay in this wrap version. If you want to just bring your right hand to your right hip, you can go there. So keep chest open, just bring your gaze down, bend in that left knee, walk your hand, your block forward, and then you can step this back foot in if you need to. You might just see if you can start to lift up. So there's all of these little variations in this pose. There's ways that we can kind of challenge ourselves a little more. There are ways when we're newer, we can start to work into it. Okay, so from here, bend your right knee if you want to take that Shavasana variation. See if you can find the foot. Kick that foot into your hand. Melt that right shoulder back. It's nice and warm to do so. And then spin those left ribs up. Make sure you don't have the death grip in those left toes. And then we take up space here. So Ardha Chandrasana, this is triangle pose turned on its side. Start to bend your left knee. Reach, reach back with that right foot. Straighten left leg. Trikonasana, full pose, nice and spacious. Good, and then you can just keep your block where it's at as you exhale, look down at your left toes. Inhale, rise on up. Ooh, parallel your feet, release your arms down, and then step your feet together. Good, and then let's come back to seated, and we're gonna come into a little hip opener here. So we're gonna do our double pigeon today. If your preference would be to come into your single pigeon, you're also welcome to do that. You could also be doing your reclining pigeon. But for our double pigeon setup, let's take our right shin in front of our left shin. All right. If you know that you have the flexibility in your hips and it's easy for you to stack your shins, you could do that. So that probably isn't for you if this right knee is lifted up a lot. So both good places to be. All right. And then maybe have a block handy. And we're going to inhale, press down into the sit bone, stretch the arms up. And then as you exhale, hold on to all of this length as you start to hinge forward. So depending upon where you start to get that feedback in your body, maybe you're up on fingertips. It might just be the tiniest little forward fold for you. For those of us that are a little more open, we start to melt in a little deeper, and this is where it can be really nice to rest your head on a block. Check in with your right foot, make sure that it's flexed and active. So that just engages the muscles around that right knee, helps to protect that joint. And if your eyes aren't closed here, go ahead and close them. And really start to consciously shift gears. So start to stretch the inhale out, start to stretch the exhale out. Start to slow down, start to cool down. We've been working hard. As we shift gears here, notice if the thoughts kick up. That often happens. It's kind of easier to stay focused sometimes when we're moving with the breath. Also, when we're in these intense poses, these poses that are challenging in our body, the thoughts kick up. So just observe what's going on. Just notice, and then just keep reminding yourself to stay committed to that sound of your breath. And it doesn't have to look perfect, but you're just making that effort. Okay, so stay kind of like as low as you are, but just start to walk your hands off to the right. So you just find a little twist, wrapping left ribs towards right thigh. Beautiful, Pamela. Good, and then just start to walk back to center. As you inhale, roll on up. And then you're just gonna extend your legs to straight. Give them a little shake out. And we come into our second side. So crossing left shin in front of right shin, flexing both feet a little bit. Again, you're welcome to stack here if that is available in your body. Really anchor down into your sit bones. Inhale, find length, stretch arms up. And then exhale, start to hinge forward. And again, you're just going to the place where you're feeling sensation in that outer left hip. It's gonna be different for all of us. As long as you're feeling something, you're where you need to be. Side to side, it can look quite different, so that's absolutely okay. If you are in a little deeper, you are more than welcome to rest your head on fists or a block or a blanket. Good. Just start to walk your hands off to the left. Find a little twist here, wrapping right ribs towards that left thigh. Walking back to center. And then inhale, roll on up. Extending legs to straight, giving them a little shake. Let's come onto our back and let's do a little supine twist before we come into our Shavasana. So when you get there, hug your knees into your chest. And then kind of your choice today, however you want to do this. Take some twists to the side. So that might be knees stacking on top of each other. Some of us like to cross one thigh over. Just make sure that you give your hips a little space. Another great variation is feet wide, knees fall one direction. And then you can take ankle on top of knee. So wherever you want to be, you're either looking straight up here or out over opposite hand of the direction that the knees have fallen. And again, you're just really kind of luxuriating in that slow, easy breath. Inhale, come up to center, and then take your twisting variation to the other side. Just finding the one that you really like that feels good in your body. Good. So come back to center on an inhale. Find a little squeeze of knees into chest. And then setting up for your final resting pose, Shavasana. Take a little support underneath your knees if there's tenderness in your lower back. Kind of snuggle the shoulder blades underneath you so you feel that openness and stretch across your heart and chest. And let go here. Feel supported. Feel quiet. Melt in. Take a deeper inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And just begin to bring a little movement back to your body. So yawning, stretching out, wiggling. I'm just going to stay soft and quiet. Roll to one side or the other. Use your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. So here we are again in our Sukhasana. How does this feel different than when we started class an hour ago? So enjoy this space that you've created in your body, this sense of strength. Enjoy this fullness of breath. And then hopefully the headspace is feeling a little quieter, calmer, maybe even a little sense of joy. So really soak that up and send yourself love and gratitude for making it happen. Bring your palms together at your heart. And just bow your head with a smile. Terrific work today. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.